And we are live. Welcome to I Drink and I Know Things. Tonight we talk about Donald Trump's 2020 campaign. It launched last night from Orlando, Florida. This speech was interesting. I did watch it. I have a few things to say. I'm joined here by my great moderator, Jensen Quinn. Hey, man, dude, you survived. Nice.
Thank you.
And also, of course, the one, the only, the get off my lawn, motherfucker, MC. How's it going, MC?
It's going all right.
Did you get a chance to take a listen to that Donald Trump speech?
I've heard sections of it. I haven't heard the entire thing. But then again, I don't actually, find those things interesting this far out.
He does have a point, actually. I mean, you've got, over a year before it actually really makes any bloody difference. Right now, he could say anything he wants, up to and including, let's kill bunnies. And he's still, it's not going to make that much of a difference. No matter what he says, the left are still going to hate him and revile him. Hell, if he cured cancer, they'd blame him for putting cancer doctors out of a job. And we know this, okay?
Right. So I mean, the thing is the speeches. Anybody can write a good speech. Anybody can do a good speech. Trust me, we've heard a lot of different speakers out there giving speeches. All right, but this is the start of a campaign. This is the startup. Okay, and we're over a year away. What the economy is like? It's great that the economy is going well now. What will the economy be next year at this time? That's going to be more on people's minds than what the economy is today. All right? Where are we with Iran? That's going to be more on people's minds a year from now than it is going to be what's going on today. All right? So I really don't. You can blame me for not listening to the speech, but the reality is it's political speeches don't mean much at this point. The only thing that you can take away from this, as far as I can see, right, is the fact that, like it or not, Trump can still draw a frickin' rabid crowd. Okay, that hasn't changed. So what does that mean to me? It means he hasn't lost his core base yet, which is a good sign for Trump. But then again, whether he's lost his core base a year out is immaterial, because next year, depending upon what happens, maybe he doesn't draw those crowds, and all of a sudden it is an issue.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. If you're looking at it politically, the crowds that the Democrats are fielding, and they've been campaigning for weeks already, the crowds they're drawing are not even close to as large, and President Trump did take a couple pot shots at censorship, and I did like that.
Well, the good thing about Trump is he means what he says. Okay, a lot of people don't. I know they're like, oh, he doesn't talk about it. No, he means what he says. When he says that he's going to start deporting people, he's going to start deporting people. When he says that he wants to build a wall, he wants to build a wall. All right. So from that standpoint, you can take his speech and say, well, he wants to investigate what's going on with this censorship. Okay, yeah, it's good that he wants to do that. What exactly does it mean? We'll have to kind of wait and see exactly how all that plays out, because we don't know. What's going to happen? I mean, right now there was a bill introduced in the Senate. Is it going to go anywhere? No. Even if the Senate does vote to approve it, there's no chance that it's going to be voted on in the House. All right, which basically guts Section 230. So it's great that they're trying to do it from a legislative process. I congratulate them for that. But then again, what's going to end up happening is what's been happening in our political sphere, which is when two sides disagree, they run to the courts, and they keep running to the courts till they get the answers they want, regardless of who wins in the court. But all they're going to do is continue to carry it on in the courts until a decision is made. So.
Well, here's the thing I was kind of wondering. The way President Trump has kind of cycled through his administration, right? Nobody sticks around. I was curious to see if he chose a new running mate. He didn't. He's sticking with Pence. Is that a good move?
Pence doesn't hurt him. You know what I mean? Pence is not a negative for him. So, I mean, it gives him a state that he needs. It gives him Indiana. So from that standpoint, it's a positive. All right. I mean,
I was kind of thinking, maybe he switched up. And I know he wouldn't do it, but Rand Paul would be a good choice, in my opinion. Let's get a libertarian vice president. That'd be fucking awesome.
If he was going to go for anyone, he would have to get somebody popular from, like, Colorado. If you got a popular
why Colorado though? Kentucky is just as important as Colorado,
because there's no chance that Kentucky is going to go blue. Okay, there's no chance Kentucky's going blue. All right, Colorado, all right, is purple, so you can try and drive it back into red. All right, would it work? Who knows? All right, I mean, it's quite frankly, it's problematic, but it could happen.
Yeah, I was surprised he stuck with Pence though, because just the turnover rate is dramatic in his administration. I thought for the second term he would pick a new running mate, so I'm surprised. Am I the only one that's surprised by that?
A lot of the turnover. Okay, there's two things about the turnover within the Trump administration.
And I'm not at all.
I didn't hear what you said, Shorty. Welcome.
I said I'm not at all, and I also want Dodge to quit with his bogus "I'm a libertarian" shenanigan that he keeps putting on as a facade.
I didn't say that. And Shirardi, why aren't you whispering? You have to hold up a character from now on.
Hey, Shirati.
How's your vacation going?
Hi. It's great. My family's lovely as always, and I wish everybody would listen to me. But nobody ever does.
I swear she's gonna kill herself. It sounds like with suicide watch on Shirardi.
Well, no, the going out and traveling and everything is stressful for families. I understand that. Done that enough times in my life.
No. I love my family. I truly do. My family is awesome.
I
My
was
mother-in-law
just
is
kidding.
great. My father-in-law is great, and my nephews are assholes, but all kids are.
Blink twice if you need to be rescued. You know. Fair enough. Shorty, well played. Jensen, I did want to ask you also. I know we were talking about President Trump, but I want to shift gears a little bit. What's going on as Theresa May steps down? Have you been following your local politics?
Oh, yes. Boris Johnson is so very, very likely to win, unless, of course, someone basically backstabs him, or actually knowing him, if they throw something sparkly on the ground. But
ooh, look at that.
yeah. Ooh, shiny. No, seriously, he should become our next prime minister, which means we're stuck with a twat with bad hair. You're stuck with a twat with bad hair. What the hell is going on with the world?
Well, he did win. Didn't he get on this latest round of voting like 140 votes?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Honestly, about the only way he could lose is, like I said, if someone throws something sparkly on the ground, or if he gets stabbed in the back. I mean, he could possibly lose a few points if he was killing bunnies on screen, but I still think he'd get in. I really do.
So
I can see the commercial. Hi, I'm Boris Johnson. Picks up a fucking rabbit and knocks it in the head with a hammer. That's what I'm going to do to the European Union.
I'd vote for him.
For all the Venezuelans out here, you guys recognize this, right? Biff.
Oh, harsh, but fair.
I can't believe it. You guys are going to elect your version of Donald Trump. That's amazing.
Well, what's interesting from my perspective is the fact that they're not actually voting. This is just the Conservative Party, just a few of the Conservative Party elders, right? Are the ones who are actually doing the voting.
Yep. We don't actually get even the slightest involvement in it. It's we pick the party, they pick the leader.
Now, I did make a comment about this Jeremy Corbyn, because Jeremy Corbyn today came out, or yesterday rather, came out and said that basically that they're willing to do a second Brexit referendum, that he's willing to support that.
What? Why would you need a second one? I mean, the people have spoken how many times? Oh, come on.
Mad, you really need to do your disclaimer. You have 10 seconds to do it, and then I'm going to start commenting. Go.
Mad Dodge Productions does not necessarily endorse any of the viewpoints expressed by the panel on Mad Dodge Productions. YouTube, please do not ban me. We love you, YouTube. We bow before your feet, Google. Go ahead, Jensen.
Jeremy Corbyn needs to be shot in the face with dragon breath rounds until he eventually ceases to exist. The man is scum. The man is worm dirt. He should not be in charge of a wet fart in a thunderstorm. He is a useless individual. He should never be Prime Minister. And that is my opinion.
Well, I don't understand, and I said this morning on my stream, and I said, to me, okay, and I don't understand the UK politics, I really don't, but to me it seems as if most of Labour was pro-Brexit. Now, I'm not saying that they want to leave, with a hard Brexit or whatever, but most of the Labour voters were pro-Brexit, right? Why would you do that to your own party? Why would you, create that kind of a wedge?
Because the Labour, I'm going to be blunt, Labour knows that they're not going to get in. So basically, they can get away with saying or doing pretty much anything. They already know that they're in deep trouble. As I know a lot of people aren't going to like to hear it, but the Conservatives are more than likely to get back in. The only way Labour will get in is in some sort of can't remember the term. Balls. The thing Conservatives did with the Liberals when they worked together. Shit, there's a proper term for it, and I don't know what it is.
Well,
sorry.
They created a bipartisan, unified government.
Yep, that's the bastard. That is the only. Sorry.
Oh, Jensen, tell us how you really feel about Jeremy Corbyn.
Well, the thing that gets me about it is, under normal circumstances in the United States, and I think this is probably true of Great Britain as well, most people aren't paying attention to politics. All right, until the election gets close to the presidential election, most Americans have a tendency of just ignoring politics. When politics comes on, they just change the channel. Okay. Or they just whatever, and they don't even pay much attention to it going forward as well. But when it comes to Brexit is a hot topic in Great Britain because it is coming up. You don't only have a couple months before the Brexit happens again. So it's a constant roiling there, and to do that, you're taking your base and you're basically splitting it. How are you going to keep your party together in the upcoming parliamentary elections if you end up splitting your base?
I totally agree with you, mate. Like I said to you on your stream, I'm from Britain and I don't understand what the fuck they're up to nowadays. I really don't. It's completely insane. At one point, our politicians were the envy of the planet. Now, they're at best a joke.
Well, no,
okay.
I mean, seriously, how many times do you need to revisit the Brexit issue? The people have spoken numerous fucking times. Leave the European Union. They spoke when they voted for the Brexit party that was only created 6 months ago, for fuck's sake. Come on.
But you've got to remember, Mad, the voters don't understand what they really want. What they really want is what the
No,
what's it
okay.
called?
Jensen, if I say I want chocolate ice cream and you hand me strawberry, I'm going to be pissed. Right?
They won't hand you strawberry. What they'll hand you is dog food. They're that bad.
And they just they say that the dog food is actually strawberry.
Yeah, well, we don't tell them that. All right, mate.
But
Right.
you know what I mean? It's like we want, okay, 2 + 2 = 4. They'll go ahead and tell me it equals 6. I tell them they're full of shit. They go, you're racist. What? I mean,
Yes, you have actually described exactly what they will do. It's ridiculous. It really is. And you don't actually want me to give my opinion on Corbyn. That was actually me being careful with what I said.
no, I like how you use the same rounds that I almost killed Batman with in the vampire game we played. Good job.
Yeah, I just, I watch things and at least from my perspective, it seems to me that the smart thing that Corbyn could have done was just keep quiet about all of this, right? Let the hard Brexit that everybody knows is going to happen, because that's the only way Brexit is going to happen. And then say, okay, all the chaos and everything, and then capitalize on the chaos, capitalize on how things are going back and forth with that, and then say, look, they screwed this up, they've made a mistake. Even if it's not true, they can sit up there and claim that the Tories screwed it up, because in reality, it's true that the Tories screwed it up. This would have been long behind them if it wasn't for May's dicking around. So for them they could then say, well, look at all the damage that was done because of how these idiots, we know how to actually do this kind of stuff, etc. And then he could have gotten into power that way. It seemed like that would have been a better strategy.
It would have been a better strategy, but he isn't able to do that because of his space.
Well, hey Jensen, would fuck the Camarilla work right here?
Fuck the Corbyn, yes. I definitely would agree with fuck the Corbyn and shove a shotgun in his face and pull the trigger. I mean,
we do not endorse violence in any way, shape, or form, people. We are merely wannabe comedians. That's right, wannabe comedians. We're not really funny. We know that. You're laughing at us, not with us. It's all good. Thank you for the clicks.
If we were female lesbians, it wouldn't be an issue, would it?
do you know something, Mad? I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to say this. Dude, could you suck more YouTube dick right there? That was fucking nauseating, dude.
Could you debase yourself for the YouTube overlords any more than you already have?
Yeah, we all have to bow before our Google overlords.
Dude, you didn't bow before them. You bent over, spread your ass, and shoved sand up there to use as lube. What the fuck, man? Come on.
Actually, what they did is they just pulled his dick off, and he bent over so he could get it from himself.
Yeah.
Would you like to screw me with my own dick? Here, let me pull it off for you.
Come on, man.
That's not how this works. Oh shit! But no, I mean, shit, man. It sounds like Britain's actually going in the right direction for once. Cabby would be proud.
Well, I think Cabby would be proud if they actually carry through with it. Just because it looks like you go in the right direction doesn't mean you can't take a sudden U-turn and go off a cliff.
Well, actually, thanks to the French macaroni, the hard Brexit is going to happen.
Do you think Macron is the one that's helping with that?
Ironically, yes, because he is so tired of the entire thing that he had decided that he doesn't want to give any more extension at all. And all of those main nations have to agree on giving extension to the Brits for them to have another extension, and Macaroni doesn't want to.
Well, but he does realize then all the monetary, pressure is going to be placed on France to try and pick up the slack between them and Germany for the rest of the EU, right?
Yeah, but you have to also realize that they have been speaking about the Brexit for a year now. They're getting tired.
Yeah, but I don't think they actually expect it to go through. I think that they've been just waiting for the British people to turn around and change their minds.
Yes, but it doesn't seem like it.
I don't know, Jensen. You changing your mind anytime soon?
No, I'm still wondering if they're actually going to use the army that they're trying to put together to force the British into staying.
The British
but,
don't like that type of shit, though.
What army are they going to use? Because with the Brits leaving, which nation are they going to get an army from?
Dude, they are quite likely to try and put something together and try and force us into staying if they don't get their way. Now, if they do that, that is going to probably be one of the worst things they could do, because the British can be really, really
obstinate,
soft and weak, and will allow quite a lot to happen. But the moment we get what we would define as an invading force, at that point things become very, very different.
Yeah, but they don't even have the Air Force to do.
Well, MC, real quick though, Jensen, if they went to force you to stay in the EU, you would declare war.
Yes.
You do that, the United States would probably fall on your side again, just like we have in the past 2 world wars. Can you imagine the US and Britain invading Europe again? I mean,
I also believe that the Eastern Bloc would join you as well, because at that point they would say, fuck this, because we are not going to go through this one more time.
Yep. I totally agree. And yes, it would be disgusting, Mad. We would actually have the possibility of tidying up Europe. Getting rid of the so-called leaders that we don't really need. The ones that are causing all the trouble. The ones that are...
Do they happen to have German last names?
I'm not confirming or denying this at any point. But unfortunately, it is now midnight here. I'm going to bug out, guys. I'm sorry.
Get some sleep. Get some sleep, Jensen. Take it easy, man.
Yeah, good night, Jensen.
Good night, everybody. I'll see you another time. Bye-bye.
Yeah. MC, to follow up on that, do you agree with my synopsis? Would the United States jump in on the side of Great Britain?
Oh, it would create a triple entente, because the United States would jump in, and very, very likely the Russians would probably be willing to help. Initially, they try and stay out of the war, but what will happen then is the EU would go around trying to find nations to help them out. Now, what nations would jump in to help out in those circumstances? All right? China would, but China's too far away, so how are they going to get involved? They're not going to get involved militarily, all right? But there is a nation that does have a tie there, and that's Turkey. And they would try to make deals with Turkey, saying, "Okay, yeah, you guys got the manpower. Yeah, you guys are belligerent. Yeah, and join us." And I can see the Turks actually saying, "Yeah, this is our opportunity to get into Europe again." And at that point, you'll see the Russians go, "No. We're not having you assholes again dealing with it." So it would create a world war. It truly would.
But would it also get all the crazies in Europe to come out of the woodworks?
Well, no, and what I'm thinking, that would be the destruction of NATO. NATO is gone at that moment, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
NATO would be over. NATO, there would be a new realignment of alliances that would happen. That would have to take place. The question, the wild card is what Karen said, which is China. Because will China get involved militarily? Not initially, no, because they can't. However, if Russia does get involved, then China could get involved as well militarily on the side of the EU. Would they? Probably not.
If they did, then you have Japan mobilizing immediately. Japan wants that Chinese territory.
I don't think they want the Chinese territory. They want to be left alone in China. They know China won't do it.
I mean, and Hong Kong. I mean, dude, you're looking at flashpoints all around the globe at that point, right?
Yeah.
Do you believe the United States would fall in line with Great Britain? I do, honestly. I believe, I believe politically, Great Britain is our greatest ally.
Yeah.
Well, politically it is, and there's no reason for the United States in that kind of a scenario to sit back and wait. You got to remember, we are the world power at the moment. All right, we're a weakened world power. That's true, but we would still have to be the ones trying to mediate this. Now, depending upon who the president is and how things are going, would they try to mediate a quick? You don't really want to do this, perhaps. But a lot would depend on the actions of the European Union in and of itself. I mean, it's all hypothetical. Let's be honest.
Yeah, well, let's talk about a Boris Johnson administration in Great Britain in a Trump 2020 win, and then Europe tries to enforce their power upon Great Britain. It's not gonna go well, dude. It's really not. You're looking at the destruction of the order that we have in the world right now.
Well, we've been going in that direction for a while, though. I know a lot of people don't understand this, but the reality is NATO has long since, for the last 10 years, is long since defunct. All right.
Well, the reason for its existence doesn't exist anymore, and I know that NATO has been trying to find.
Only reason I'm cutting you off, Keen, is we got a super chat. Pinoid News. Americans could take over Europe in like 4 days. No one has a military. We are their military. And Turkey will get dropped like a hoe being slapped. Thank you for the donation, Pinoid. I appreciate it. And what do you guys think about Pinoid's comments?
I will have to disagree on America being able to flatline Europe in 4 days, because Turkey has been very, very busy, like Saudi Arabia, like Iran, in creating fifth columns in Europe. Just look at Sweden and how often they have grenades attacks there.
That's a good point, actually. There would be fifth columns throughout there. It would turn into a type of guerrilla campaign.
It will be the Balkan War all over again.
So, yeah, could we take territory? Could we seize territory and wipe out the military? Yeah, but what are you going to do then after that's done?
Exactly.
How do you control the area? And let's be perfectly frank, the United States society at this point in time is not committed enough to do what's going to be necessary to win in those kind of environments. Which is basic. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Which is again why I believe that the crazies will come out of the woodworks, and we are talking about both the far left and the far right.
Yeah, but you're already seeing them. Yeah, but they're already coming out of the woodwork. They're already taking over governments in Europe. Look at Italy, Spain, Greece. I mean, they're already coming out of the woodwork. Even in Germany, they gained some seats, right? The far right party did. It's getting out of control. It's building up, man. The dominoes are going to fall.
Yes, but for many of these parties, they aren't really far right.
MC, do you want to respond?
Well, he's right. They're not necessarily far right, but the question is would the far right then be able to use that to springboard into power? And to be honest, it's happened before, so there's no reason why you can't think of it happening again.
Exactly, because the reason they managed to take over Germany before Second World War, that was because Germany was in such chaos thanks to the communists that the people would vote for anyone that could make a demand and stop.
Right, and so that's what you ended up with was people taking advantage of the chaos. Could this create another situation of chaos? Yeah, I think it could.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing too. If you look at Europe and its history and its natural disposition, its populace is conditioned to bend the knee. As an American, I don't understand it. I don't get it. But that's kind of how Europe is. And it's how it's been for hundreds of years. Correct me if I'm wrong, MC.
Well, there's an aristocratic kind of a mindset to obey authority, and that's to an extent that exists. Now, how far you can carry that would be, problematic. I mean, we'd have to wait and see. And as far as the Eastern Europeans, I don't think the Eastern Europeans, for the most part, are going to necessarily bend the knee. They're enjoying their freedom, which is why they're reacting the way that they are.
Yes, I believe that Western Europe will likely become a basket case for a while Eastern Europe will be the nations that will be growing after this event, if it happens.
Well, no, and if it did happen, and MC said he'll be right back. But no, if it did happen, I believe Jensen's right, or was it you that said it? But Eastern Europe would rise up with Britain and the United States. And then if Russia gets forced in because of Turkey, then you have a supply line straight from the Russian Federation through Eastern Europe and into the eastern flank. And you have the United States and Britain landing on the western flank. Europe, I'm sorry, EU, you can't survive this. What the French are going to stop us? We're America. Good luck. And I know I sound like a cunt right there. I get it, but come on.
I think I will actually have to agree with you there, because the French will be the only nation with a proper army left.
Well, and would the French pull the nuclear trigger? I don't think they would.
No, I don't think so. I believe that what France may end up having to struggle with is a civil war. Because this is another aspect of the chaos that we got in Europe already, is that we already have groups of people within the military repeatedly trying to pull something together in order to prepare for the scenario they believe is coming.
Well, no, and Pinoy News again, another super chat. Thank you, my friend. $10 this time. This dude says there is far-right parties. Bullshit. EU far-right is like Southern California or, the Southern Californian Republic or a Northeast Libertarian. They're still commies, and you need to get the U.S. behind a war. Tell them we killing commies. I mean, all right. Dude,
Well,
Pinoy, you are generous tonight. Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Well, you're talking, when you say far right, I mean, you're talking, hyper nationalist and to a large extent racist type of fascist type of movement. Is that really considered the right necessarily? Obviously, there are socialistic elements in the fascist movement. They're not respecting individual liberty for sure. All right. I mean, you're subordinating everything to the state. So from that perspective, yeah, you can say that they're communists as well. But that doesn't mean that they're going to win either, though. I mean, yeah, you have these movements, but the reaction to that from hardcore leftists can be just as severe. And if the populace sits it out, if the populace says, you know what, we're not going to get involved, we're just going to sit up there and see who wins, and just sits it out, well, then, it's kind of a coin toss depending upon who actually does take charge, right?
Well, usually when you have two movements willing to use violence to take over, it usually is the one that does the counterattack that wins.
Okay, but which one do you see? How do you see that?
When I was talking about MC, when I was talking about far right, I was talking about parties like the Golden Dawn. I believe that's Greece. It might be Italy, but they are pretty much Mussolini's party. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is because their situation has deteriorated to a so chaotic extent that people will go to groups like that after they try something mild there. Like you in America, you don't know how lucky you are that you got someone like Trump to alleviate the pressure, so to speak.
Well, no, and we are incredibly lucky to be where we're at, but our nation is under threat as well. That's why we do what we do, right, MC? Well, America is under threat.
America has had different pressures, and the pressures in America come about from how do you respect tradition, how do you respect the Constitution, and if the Constitution is broken, then quite frankly, I expect us to go the way of Rome. I expect us to have some kind of military, coup and takeover, and we end up being ruled constantly by force of personality backed up by the force of arms.
Well, yeah, and that's why America, there is 80 guns to every 100 people in the United States. Damn right there is. The Japanese were not wrong when their generals said we cannot invade America because behind every blade of grass would be a rifle barrel, right?
Well, but a civil war would reduce our effectiveness, especially if a civil war happened at the same time all the other chaos is going on. And you can believe that there would be groups from Europe and groups, especially from China, that would be attempting to foment such a civil war within the United States during a conflict of that magnitude. I don't think you can just discount it.
You're right. You can't just discount it. But the thing is, I believe Americans, we band together when we need to. Look at September 12th, 2001.
That's 2001. That's almost a generation ago.
Thanks for making me feel old. But but you get what I'm saying though, right, MC? We band together when the going gets tough and America really has to band together. We do so.
I don't think that. I think that that's been weakened to the point where I can't guarantee that. I truly do believe that it's weakened to that point. I am not optimistic. I am really not optimistic when I describe.
Actually, I would actually support Mad Dodge in his idea. What I do believe is that the nations that will go rogue in that case will be nations like California and possibly New York. But the heartlands will band together. Likely the red states will also be banding together because they are more self-sufficient. It's those nations those states that are already go into a handbasket that will likely not be able to pull together.
Yeah, but they can't. But just that fact alone will prevent the United States from taking the necessary position that would require us on the world stage. We'd become an internal basket case, dealing with our own internal problems at the expense of what's going on around the world. It's basically a scenario just prior to World War II, where the United States is working on its own issues internally, right, ignoring the international situation.
That's scary.
I'm sorry,
Well,
I'm not the
real
bluebird
quick,
happy.
I gotta switch over to Twitter and shoot Pinoid a link. But before I do that, no, man, I really do believe that the United States of America would band together in another world war like that. I believe you would have the same patriotic fervor that you had after September 11th, or after Pearl Harbor. Now, would we be willing to go all in because the British need our help? I would be. I don't know about the rest of my countrymen, though. What do you think, MC? And I'm going to shoot Pinoid the link.
Well, if you think that it kind of depends on the circumstances involved. All right, I honestly think that Americans would be divided as to whether or not we should help or not. All right, there are plenty of people who would sit up there and go, no, let the British sit up there and swing on their own. It would depend upon a number of different circumstances. There are plenty of people that would support, obviously, the British, right, and have full-throated support. But by the same token, there's plenty of, backstabbing weasels, all right, within this country. And to say that they would give full-throated support, over their own personal self-interests, I wouldn't make that claim, especially if things looked really tough. If the fight looks like it could be a tough fight, there's a lot of Americans that would go, I don't want to get my hands involved. We shouldn't get involved in it. And that would become even more of an accurate assessment, in my opinion, if for some reason there are internal issues have gotten out of hand where you were running with a constitutional crisis at the same time. Let's say that Trump is in the middle of an impeachment hearing, impeachment trials that are going on, right? Do you think that we're going to be focused on the external?
No.
Hey, Pinoid.
Hey, Pinoid.
What up, man?
Yeah,
first off, the 5-star
for the support, buddy. Second,
payday, nigga. You know what I mean? You the first live stream I watched, so you got the money, right? So, first off, Greece is the 5-star party, or Greece is the Golden Dawn party. Italy used to have the 5-star, but they lost power during the last election to Matteo Salvini's new party, which really rose to prominence and captured about 35% of the Italian electorate.
Are you talking about the EU election?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and the Golden Dawn, man, they are hardcore, dude. I was looking at them, I think about a year ago. We did a show about them. They're pretty fucking out there, dude.
Yeah, but they're pretty communistic. You know what I mean? All of Europe is super commie. Like what you would think of as right wing here, them cocksuckers are commies. All right, like they're legit. If they came to America, they would be voting Democrat every time.
I have to agree there because the parties that were not both Democrats, they are either too small or they have been infected.
Well, it ain't that. It's the fact that Europe has become so accustomed to universal health care and fucking like free pensions and shit that they wouldn't know how to function without it. You know what I mean? And then like the free transportation and stuff that like Europe just has like as a thing because we basically have given them a military and their ability to like have a massive trading partner and individuals to have their back for the past 70 years so they could have all these programs and, you know what I mean, they got them for free. You know what I mean? While the rest of us is kind of like paying our tax money to support it.
Yeah, it's the same situation as Rome all over again because in the end of Rome, Rome didn't really have an army anymore. They just hired the Germans to be their army.
Yeah, and the Swiss Guard, all that nonsense. They stood there and they had a whole lot of mercenaries and they were paying individuals not to attack them. And eventually people were like, fuck that, we'll just go take all of it. Why are we just getting it a little bit of it at a time? I guess.
No, but the thing is, though, if you're looking at a war, it's either what our scenario that we're talking about that's building up with Britain and the EU wanting to create its own fucking military. Because, giving Germany a military always works well in the past.
Yeah, that's always a good idea. You should always just give Germans and the Japanese a military, because it just, man, look, it works out every fucking time. Like Germany became a country in 1865 or 1885, something like that. After the Franco-Prussian thing happened or whatever the case might have been. And like all of a sudden, within like 30 years, they had two major fucking world wars they started and almost won the both of them. Like, I don't think that we should give them a military ever again, but hey, by all means, let's let them control another one.
Well, Germany has always been a basket case through the history. They were the first crusaders.
Hey, what's wrong with the Crusades? Come on.
Yeah, but they didn't even get to the Holy Land before they started killing and massacring people. They were just out of control.
There was a couple, massacres here and there. It was all right.
Hey, where's this non-American from?
Norway.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, man. Yeah. Y'all ain't even gonna be a country in like 15 years. Like, you don't have enough people. Like, you have no people whatsoever.
Germany.
Norway. You don't have any people.
He's talking about the population drop in Norway and how you guys you're having more deaths than you are births, which is happening, but it's happening all over the Western civilization, right?
Sort of, kind of, but like in Norway, it's fucking like that shit is on hyperdrive right now.
Keen, what do you have any comments on that? Because that is an issue. You do need a population growth to build economies and survive.
You need something.
Yes, but in order for us to have an economy, we need to have the ladders of the economy working, and that's been messed all to hell thanks to the European Union.
So
wait, what did he say?
He's talking about the taxes that Norway has to give to the European Union off of their oil production, which is really interesting.
Well, that doesn't really matter. It don't matter if you're not gonna have enough fucking young people to pay for your old people. Like, at some point, you're gonna have death panels and shit put in.
No, getting enough nurses isn't really a problem for us, because we just import those from the Philippines.
Well, not nurses. You don't have enough motherfucking medicine and CAT scan machines and MRI machines and surgeons. Fuck nurses. Yeah. You need money.
Yeah, and that's why I believe that we need to kick out a lot of those asylum seekers that doesn't really have claim for asylum. Because I learned something really, really interesting about what we give to the asylum seekers. Do you know that if you as an asylum seeker come to Norway and are here for 5 years, then you have rights for full pension?
Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about with the communist thing. See, God
damn it.
This is what I'm saying. Legit.
I'm reading the chat here. Aunt Jack says, you don't treat invaders into your country with kindness. He also says, I agree you shouldn't let pirates, in quotations, Japanese, have a military. He is Korean, so we forgive him for his racism.
Yeah, look, man, let me be real here, yo. Koreans are the most racist motherfuckers I've ever met in my whole life. Like, legitimately. Like, these niggas hired me to run the entire Northeast division of Samsung's appliance fucking quality control as a fucking temp. I had fucking 15 employees under me, an executive bathroom, an executive parking spot, and an assistant. And I was a goddamn temp permanently. Like, yo, because they didn't want to have any white Americans working for their fucking company.
Holy shit, dude. Damn.
Yo, Koreans are racist as fuck. Like, yo. That's why every time I had a chance, I started an international incident with them motherfuckers. Like, legit. Like, yo, I used to send out emails to fucking Vietnam and Korea at the same time. Like, hey, man, how y'all are loading these things is causing the backsides of these ovens to be dented up and shit. Y'all might want to start taking a look at this, and I'm sending over pictures, right? And the fucking customers are sending them back, and I'm sending them out as fucking defective and shit. And, like, all of a sudden, now I got, like, 40 people from all over the world, you know what I'm saying, coming over to my fucking department, like, hanging out, looking at shit, doing measurements, and causing all types of, they're cursing each other out in different languages. It was hilarious. Like, yo.
That's awesome. Dude, you're fucking Loki. You're just creating chaos.
Fuck them racist motherfuckers. Cocksuckers. God damn it.
Racist motherfuckers. Oh, shit. But no, okay, so the thing about Norway is, man, you guys were Vikings, right? Like, you raped and pillaged. What happened?
England.
They let their women take over. Yeah, that's what the
United
fuck happened.
Kingdom happened.
The what happened? What is the kingdom?
The United Kingdom happened.
Yo, they were out raping and pillaging too. Like, the fuck are you talking about? They happened.
They convinced us that the Christianity was a much better idea.
Oh, no.
That don't mean you give up raping and pillaging. Italians were fucking like Roman Catholic, the original Christians, and we used to just like pay for our fucking sins so we could kill people. The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. How many Hail Marys for killing some Muslims today? 10.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but the thing is that after we had the issue with the British, and they convinced us that Christianity was a good idea. Then the Swedes came in.
Yeah, the Swedes were always a problem. And I mean, fucking, they were the first ones to really embrace gunpowder weapons and shit. What they used to call them, fucking halberds, something like that. Fucking, that was the type of troops that they used to call them and shit. And fucking, like, they went through, they were fucking people up forever. Like, the Romans, believe it or not, fucking stood there and actually, like, in a later part of, like, you know, like, after Rome fell and they were coming back up, they built their militaries off the fucking Swedish and shit. A lot of the Italian armies and shit and the Spanish were fucking taking their cues from what they were doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, they make good knives, but then I remember that was
Swiss. Swiss, Swedish, they're all just not Americans with communism. You know what I mean?
I know, right? They all blend together.
Yeah, all them blonde hair, blue eyed fuckers who eat chocolate, you know?
You realize chocolate came from, Latin America.
No, I realize chocolate comes from Hershey, Pennsylvania. All right, that's what the fuck I realize now. I live in Harrisburg, baby. I'm 20 minutes from there. Like, yeah.
We don't really have proper chocolate here in Norway because it can be dangerous to the children.
What?
Chocolate is dangerous to children?
Proper chocolate is dangerous to the children because they have too much sugar.
See, this is what I'm saying. When you let your women take over and run things, Like, yo, you end up with these type of attitudes. Nigga, we give our kids, we have whole holidays where niggas go out with trash bags and just collect chocolate door to door. And then they put themselves into a coma the next day. Like, yo, that's a national holiday here in America. Like, yo, it made it through all the Christian reparations and people like playing with snakes and shit and talking in tongues. You know what I mean? Talking about how it's the devil's holiday. That motherfucker stuck with us because we were like, yeah, fuck that. You know what, man? We want to be able to dress up like goblins and ghosts and shit and go out and get fucking trash bags full of chocolate and try to kill ourselves and rot our teeth out of our mouth. And somehow we still have better teeth than the British. Like,
only you. It's not to say Halloween.
Yeah, dude, I'm cracking up, Pinoy. That's great.
Man, what are you guys? Like, what are you talking about? Like, yo, we invented a holiday where a bunny poops out an egg and it's full of chocolates. Like, the fuck are you talking about? We got a whole art. Bad. No. All right.
We did not invent Easter. Yes, we added candy to it, and we added candy to Christmas. And we added
the rabbit pooping out the eggs.
We did create St. Valentine's Day so we could hand out more candy. All of that's true.
Yes. More chocolate. Nigga, we came up with Cocoa Puffs, Cocoa Krispies.
Oh, dude, Cocoa Pebbles, man. That's
Cocoa Pebbles, Reese's Peanut Butter Puffs, Reese's Pieces, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I'm hungry right now. I ain't even got no chocolate at the moment. Legit, motherfuckers will riot in certain places if the fucking milkshake machine is broken in McDonald's because they can't get their chocolate.
Yeah, it is amazing how we've changed. I mean, I don't think there even is a cereal anymore that doesn't have sugar in it.
Wheaties.
The closest we come, the closest I think that we come anymore is freaking Lucky Charms, and they got freaking marshmallows. So
yeah, too much sugar for children. Nigga, we stand here and have advertisement with cartoon fucking characters legitimately running away from other cartoon characters trying to steal their chocolate and their fucking candy just to show how important chocolate and candy is for breakfast.
Well, we did go down to the point where we actually created a cereal that we called Cookies. And we made it in the shape of cookies. And yes, it had chocolate in it. Little chocolate chip cookies.
Cookie crisp. Yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah, you can't make commercials like that in Norway. It's not inclusive enough.
Dude, and the main character, do you remember the character, MC? He was a fucking dog who was a criminal.
Yeah, he was a dog as a criminal. That's true. Which, when you think about it, well, I mean, there is a reason why people think Americans are a bunch of fat asses. Because, well,
we are.
And that is really making the whole communist stick so ironic, because the thing that the communists really wanted to solve, that was people having enough bread. But it sounds like you solved that problem. Everyone has enough bread.
Dude, I drank a Rockstar earlier. That has 240 milligrams of fucking caffeine and 30 grams of sugar in it.
Yo, I buy iced tea by the gallon. I usually do like 2 of them a day. Yo. I'm the only place in America where that's just a normal thing. Like, y'all have tea in the rest of the country. Like, yo, we have whole sections of like every convenience store is nothing but different flavored fucking iced teas in half-gallon and gallon containers.
And how many different sugar flavors?
All of them have. There is no non-sugared one. What are you talking about?
There's no Earl Grey tea with
no. Fuck no. Fuck. What the fuck is this Earl? Who is Earl Grey and why is he making tea? Swiss and Turkey Hill and maybe Wawa's, nigga. Maybe Wawa's. Wawa's is iffy. The motherfuckers is tiny. It's like You know, there's something wrong with that. Don't quite taste like Swiss. And you got to get some nachos.
And then we'll top it off with chips. Well done.
And some Middlesworth barbecue fucking potato chips.
See, enough. Once you get enough sugar in, then you got to put the salt in, right?
And if you're feeling a bit peckish, you might want to grab you a Ho-Ho or a Star Crunch. You know?
Arica, do you know what a Ho-Ho is?
If you were a what?
Do you know what a Ho-Ho is? I'm asking him if he knows what a Ho-Ho is in Norway.
Ho.
Yeah, a Ho-Ho.
Isn't that what Santa says?
That's what Santa brings.
A Ho-Ho is it's a rolled up cream filled pastry that's about as sweet as you can get it, and then you dip it in chocolate. So it's
it's chocolate covered. It's chocolate covered chocolate pastry with fucking white sugar fucking shit swirled on the inside. You ever seen a cinnamon roll? It's like a cinnamon roll, but like long wise, it's like about 4 inches long, about an inch thick. I don't even know, man. It's like, do we eat different around here? All right, man. You know what I mean? The fuck?
Ho-Hos aren't popular in the South. They have moon pies.
Yeah.
we got shoe fly pie around here.
A moon pie is like a start with a graham cracker, throw on a marshmallow, and then dip it in chocolate. That's what.
Yo, man, you know, legitimately, we all look forward to going camping, not because you go in the woods and enjoy nature, but because you get to roast marshmallows and put them between 2 graham crackers with a piece of chocolate on it and melt it and eat it. That's what the fuck it is you look forward to going camping.
Yeah, people wonder why Americans are crazy.
Yeah, Joshua in the chat says this is a commercial for diabetes.
Yeah, look, man, we all gotta die one day. I don't know why it is that you choose, you know what I'm saying, not die of diabetes. Might as well die with a smile on your face, missing a foot, you know?
With the foot just kind of falls off, blackened, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, you'll know all the shortest routes to get anywhere if you're missing a foot. You know? That's a fucking promise.
Is that
You will never have to take the stairs.
Is that the secret of footlongs?
That. If you don't like your foot, all you got to do is eat lots of sugar. See, if your women were around, you would know this, right? Already.
You're horrible, man. You really are.
Oh, dude, have we told him about deep frying Twinkies yet?
Oh my god.
Yeah. Do you know what funnel cake is, man?
Oh yeah, we make lots of those.
Funnel cakes?
Yeah.
Well, how do you make funnel cake?
You make this dough, then you make the dough. You add marmalade to it, and then you have a cake.
Marmalade? No.
Yeah, that sounds flaming. I'll be perfectly honest with you. That sounds amazing. But no, here's what you do. You take some pancake batter, right? Yeah. And then you put it inside of like a big ass funnel. And then what you do is like you put like a lid on the bottom of the funnel and you like move the lid over top of a fryer. And you just drizzle this pancake batter in there. And then you deep fry that shit, right? And it comes out as like a donut type of like fucking like twisted cake. It looks like a spider web if you deep fried it and like added like 18,000 more spider webs. Then you cover it in confectioner's sugar and put it on a paper plate. And then you eat that shit walking around looking for where the peanut guy is with the roasted peanuts.
Dude, you're not wrong either because I'm going to a baseball game here soon. We already bought the tickets we take the kids every year to the minor league team. And you know what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be in the beer line and I'm going to get me a goddamn chili dog. It's going to be some good shit.
Fuck yeah. Or like, yo, with the funnel cake thing, what you do is you dip like you take an Oreo cookie and then you put it inside of the fucking pancake batter and then you put that in the fryer and you deep fry the motherfucking Oreo and then you have some type of goodness that God did not intend for humans to eat. But, you know, we do it all the time here. And then you look for the guy with the gyro while you're eating a bag of those.
He's like, what the hell is wrong with these guys?
America. And then what you do is you go home and you go out back and you pull out your rifle and then you fire off a couple shots at the motherfucking tree out back. You know what I mean? And you thank God that you're a goddamn American and you explode some shit. And that is our fucking holidays in the summertime.
Yeah, explosives are another unique aspect of American culture because Americans like to see things blow up. That's very true.
Well, speaking of explosions, there have been a lot of explosions over in Sweden these days.
I heard about that. Apparently, the Muslims are appropriating American culture.
Real quick, hopefully he hasn't headed off to bed yet. Jez, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. I didn't have super chats open. I'm sorry, man. Thank you very much. And he says, as always, fuck super chat. He goes with Streamlabs. So thank you very much.
What you got to do is you got to like donate $2 and go, here's $5. Like, yo.
But no, thank you. I appreciate every donation. I appreciate it, guys. But yeah, dude, you gonna go to the fair this year over where you're at, Pinoid? I was thinking about taking the kids out to the Lane County Fair this year. So
yeah, I'm probably gonna hit some of the fairs. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. I don't like going to the fucking fair unless I got a bitch with me. So I'm gonna probably try to bring some sand to the beach, see if I can find me some pussy and take it out to the beach with me. Now I mean, hit some of these fucking fairs and whatnot. I'll be honest, dude. Have you been to like a fucking amusement park recently as an older person?
No. Last time I went to the amusement park actually was Six Flags in San Vallejo, California, and I was in high school. So, do not think that you're still the same person that you were then. All right, you're gonna get on one of those rides, and you're gonna get off of that ride, and you're gonna be fucked up for 3 or 4 days. No shit.
Yeah, dude. Like, you got older. Like, I hate to tell you that, but you got older. And I mean, like, it's not like it was when you was a kid. All right, like roller coasters stop being fucking fun as an old person. Like, man, listen. Last time I went there, dude, legit, I was fucked up for like a week. Like, my head was all spinny and retarded and shit.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, I remember when I went on the oldest roller coaster on the West Coast, at least. I don't know if it's the oldest in all of America. It's over 100 years old. It's this wooden thing.
No, we own that one. We own that motherfucker. It's up here at Knoebels Grove. It's called the Phoenix. It's the oldest roller coaster in America.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So, we have the oldest one on the West Coast in Northern California. And this fucker like creaks as they're going through this wooden roller coaster. I mean, you feel like you're gonna fall through it. Is it the same over there at the
yeah. That motherfucker is raggedy as fuck. But Hershey Park recently started replacing the roller coasters that they have and shit. And by the way, that's your reward for reading here. You get to go to a place that gives you free chocolate, and your measurements are different candy bars as to which ride you can get on. Like, and then when you're done, they have a free attraction called Chocolate World, where you go on the ride, and at the end of the ride, they give you more candy.
Why do I have this picture of you just stuck in like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory?
Oh, dude! Like, if you've never been to Hershey Park, like, I feel for you. You need to come to Hershey Park. It's retarded expensive. It's like $15 for a fucking cheesesteak. You know what I mean? And it's not even that good of a cheesesteak. They make them in like the rest of the country, right? Which is retarded. Like, if you ever go like down south and get a cheesesteak and they give you like them big chunks of meat, you're like, the fuck is this? This isn't a cheesesteak. Chop that shit up, you lazy fuck. You know what I mean? But yeah, right. And it's like $13. And they put it on a wholesome roll. Like, at least to cook the bread yourself, like, for fuck's sake. Right? But yeah. But you can leave out of there and go like probably like 6 blocks down the street and get a decent meal. You know, but it is well worth going to Hershey Park if you have a chance. I would fucking go. You know, like, legit, like, it's a great place to take the family and have some fun, and I mean, see the sights, because it's a beautiful part of the country. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, no, and Oregon only has one park in it, and it's the Enchanted Forest, and it's a fucking kiddie park, pretty much.
Really?
That, we have to go down to California, man. Go to Six Flags or Universal or Disneyland. You know what I mean?
Wow. Like, yo, we got like fucking 50 amusement parks. We got Dorney, we got motherfucking Knoebels, we got goddamn Hershey, we got Six Flags, we got fucking, I want to say there's like fucking 10 or 15 more of them somewhere. I don't know where the fuck they're all. Oh, Pocono's got one. There's one down in motherfucking Yoakumtown. There's a joint down in York. There's a dip down in Philly. There's a bunch of them all over the place around. It's the East Coast though, man. We got a bunch of people here. You know, fuck, so you gotta have something for them to do.
We had Enchanted Forest would be you would take the exit and it'd be Enchanted Forest on one side and Thrillville on the other, which Thrillville had all the fucking roller coasters and cool shit. That shut down a couple years ago. So now there's just the fucking kiddie park. You know what I mean? It sucks.
Yo, fucking I went to the Bates Motel, right? Like fucking, you know, like the Bates joint, you know what I mean? Like Norman Bates and all that crazy nonsense, right?
No. Yeah, I was waiting for you to follow up on it. Yeah.
Well, yo, I'm gonna tell you like this: if you go to like one of these haunted house joints, you know what I'm saying, like one of the real famous ones or whatever, yo, do not pay for the front of the line pass. All right, like there's a joint they're gonna try and sell you where you could pay an extra $50 and be a baller in front of your girl and skip in front of everybody in line and shit. You know what I mean? Have everybody looking at you with the I just caught the stomach bug virus look, right? Don't buy that, all right? Because legitimately, we did the whole thing in like 25 minutes, and it ruined it. Because like we drove like 2 hours to get to this bitch, and everybody was like high as fuck and drunk and you know what I mean, whatever. And then we got there, and I spent like, well, we stopped and got like fucking like $100 meal or whatever, and then we went there and like balled out, and like I paid like $300 like for 2 tickets. And 2 of them fucking front of the line pass joints. And man, I went in there and like, man, look, it was dumb because like half the fun is waiting in line, legit. Like you don't think it would be, but legit it is. Like, do not buy the front of the line pass thing. It is fucking horrible.
Huh. Yeah, no, I kind of want to take the kids down to Universal Studios. And show them some of the shit there because they have a lot of cool 3D stuff, type rides. You know what I mean? You know, the Jurassic Park ride and shit like that.
Yeah, I be ruining trips for people and shit, and I mean, it's fucking terrible. Like we went in and like we went into like the rooms where like people were like, you know, they're like, this is a professional joint, so like they have like outfits to match like the wallpaper of the room and shit. And it's all like black lighted out or whatever, and like people are supposed to be hopping off of walls. I'm just walking in like, what up, dude? I see you. Oh, I see you, homie. I see you. Right? And like, I'm like the first person in. Everybody else behind me is all cowering. And I'm just kind of like walking through like it ain't shit. Like, yeah, don't take me to a haunted house. It's not fucking fun. And then like the nigga with the chainsaw tried to like come at me and he started banging the chainsaw on the side of the ride and shit. And I'm like, nigga, I ain't even got no chain on it, bro. Like, yo, why the fuck you acting like I'm supposed to be scared of that shit? Just because it's loud? Like, yo, I can see you ain't got no chain on it or else you be cutting up the side of this bitch. Like, there's no wood flying. Yeah, like, yo, you gotta have the right attitude going there, and I did not have the proper one.
Yeah, no, I went to the fucking haunted corn maze that they have, like the farm where I went to high school at right there. They do a corn maze every year. And we were going through there and you know, my ex and her sister all freaking out and shit. And in the middle of the corn maze is this bus. And I'm like, hey, we should get on the bus. They're like, no. And then suddenly over a loudspeaker goes, yes, get on the bus. I'm like, see? It's a great fucking idea.
They agree with me. Jensen, do you guys have like haunted houses and corn mazes over there? Or not Jensen? Non-American guy from fucking Norway.
Not a bad.
No, we only have one park, and it's in the southern part of Norway. We used to have this carnies that would do this trip around Norway and Sweden and Finland, I believe. But those have stopped coming. We used to have the circus. That has stopped coming. I miss the circus.
Yeah, they just killed off what is it, the Zembo joint? What was the big one that used to travel around? MC, what was it? Zembo? The Zembo Circus?
No, Ringling Brothers is what you're talking about.
Yeah, they just killed that one. That one's not
Ringling
going anymore.
Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey.
Yeah,
but
that one's dead now. They stopped doing that.
yeah, we used to have Arnardo, Circus Arnardo, but that one is gone.
Yeah, we don't get no more circuses neither. But that's because of like PETA and the other communists who were upset about how they treated the animals. Fucking
But,
communists.
but actually,
Right.
places like the circus actually helped animals. Ironically.
Well, they,
what,
let's be real. Putting the animal in a cage and taking it across the country is probably not helping it a whole lot. You know.
Well, yeah, it's fine. They love it.
It'll be alright. Fuck it. You know.
Yeah, sell more tickets. But no, you
Yo.
know what ride I did want to go on at Six Flags and I didn't get to? The Superman ride where it slings you up, like straight up, and then you go weightless for a few seconds. That's
You know what you never see on those rides? You know what you never see?
What?
Mad Dodge, you don't see middle-aged people on those fucking rides, nigga. Like, yo, I'm telling you, do not do that shit. You're gonna fucking be fucked up for like a week and a half. All types of, like, just not knowing where you're going, whether you're coming, like, what the situation is. You're gonna be looking around for your motherfucking pants and you'll have them on. Like, I'm telling you, like, fucking, you do not want to go on that goddamn ride. Fuck. Like, right now, nigga.
Yeah, no, and I'm sure I'd probably end up puking afterwards, like, or have a heart attack. Like, we're at the very top, and I'm like, oh fuck, and I'm dead by the time it hits the bottom.
Yeah, man, I would do that. Fuck that shit. Amusement parks are for kids. Yo, you want to take the kids there, let the kids do their thing? Go ahead. Nah, I mean, but you need to learn that lesson on your own. Yo, who the fuck spray painted that Jeep gold? Nigga, why are you spray painting your Jeep? Yo, get your goddamn life together. Jeep, that is like a 1997 Jeep Cherokee. It should not be gold. What the fuck is wrong with you? You can see the spray paint marks dripping. Retarded motherfuckers. What?
That's hilarious. He's all driving down the road like, fuck, what the fuck's wrong with these motherfuckers?
Well,
I'm
if you
going
want
up to
to
Washington,
hear something
DC.
really insane, if you want to really hear something insane, that is in the capital we now got the Green Party basically in charge over there, and they believe that using ordinary paint to brighten up the roads was a good idea. They spent
Wait. Did you say ordinary paint to black out the roads?
no to brighten the roads. Happy colors.
Well, yeah, yo, you got to do that. You know what I mean? You have to, like, put, like, brightly colored, fucking multicolored paint on roads because people are blind and ridiculous.
Yes, and that got washed away a couple of months later.
Gotta use the right paint. See, this is what happens when you let women in charge. Fucking, they don't know. Yo,
Yeah,
you're behind the paint counter. Give you the right shit.
Oh,
Do you have Home Depots over there? I feel like you should talk to that guy at Home Depot about giving you the wrong paint.
He gave you watercolor.
Yeah, it was
Non-water soluble.
No, the only painting that I've seen on roads, aside from the striping and paintings, is back in my hometown. Every St. Patrick's Day, they would paint a giant shamrock in the middle of the road in the town square, and because it was a big Irish German community, and they would celebrate St. Patrick's Day, and they would have dances and everything else right in the middle of the road, force all the traffic to go around. It was kind of cool, actually. But they would last for about a week. When people,
in Eugene, every year they have the block party. So it's like 3 or 4 days. They're shutting down the roads and everything in a certain section. It's the Whitaker neighborhood of Eugene. But yeah, they shut it down and they have a gigantic fucking block party.
That's so
Yeah,
cool.
we got Capona. We do the same thing like down on Front Street, and it's kind of like just a big, like, everybody fucking goes down there and gets funnel cakes and eats fucking peanuts, and then the kids ride down the motherfucking the slides with the fucking burlap sacks and shit. And then like if you catch somebody you had beef with like 15 years ago, you knock that motherfucker out and ask for your money. You know what I mean?
Basically, it's a place to riot, is what you're trying to say, right?
Yes, you might get robbed if you owe some. Don't go down there if you got beef. You know, you'll probably run into the people you got problems with. You know? and we got the Strawberry Festival, and like we got all types of shit around here, man. Like they run for like days and stuff, and like because we got lots of local products that we make, and everybody kind of celebrates that. We had the Potato Festival, but like all of a sudden, all of it started coming around. We had to shut that down.
Did you have some cartoon where the main characters are berries?
Berries?
Yeah.
You're talking about like, oh, you're talking about the California raisins?
I believe one of the characters was Strawberry or something. They were all little girls living each of their own houses.
No, that's the what do you call those? Those are that's a girls' little girls' cartoon show with these little girls, the little pastry girls, like plum pudding and all that other crap.
Oh, Strawberry Shortcake?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my daughters love that fucking show. They got DVDs of that shit. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Fucking, we got the Strawberry Festival here. Like, we make strawberry shortcake and stuff. And, like, everybody bangs out and eats. You know, lots of ice cream and sugar and milk and stuff. Fucking awesome.
Have you ever had,
like a dunk
have you ever had strawberry shortcake?
Which strawberry shortcake are you talking about?
The dessert strawberry shortcake.
Yeah, you've never had strawberry shortcake? What the fuck?
Trust me, it's another one of those sweet, fattening desserts.
Oh, it's so good. Like, there's like 3 or 4 ways to do it. Either A, like you go with strawberries and you put it on top of like these dessert cups, which are basically angel food cake, right? And then like you put like whipped cream on top of it, or then you can go with like milk and sugar, or then you can just go with vanilla. Or example of strawberry shortcake. Or you can go with regular shortcake, or I've seen it done with pound cake as well.
Yeah, it can be done with pound cake. Yeah, and you know, okay, you eating cheesecake at least, right? I mean, come on, how uncultured are you? You know?
Well, the cake we eat is a cake we call the world's best.
World's best. I beg to fucking differ.
Well, I've never had it.
Yeah,
It might be that good.
Let me describe it. It's a cake that is in several layers between cake and rum cream. And then you got a crunchy...
I hate to do this, but we gotta shift gears real quick. There's a question for the chat. Mad Dodge, what's up with Oregon becoming a sanctuary state? Dude, our fucking governor is a piece of shit fucking wench who needs to just fucking serve me beer and get the fuck out of the governor's office. That's what's going on.
If you'd only ran, if only you would have ran against her as a libertarian.
Hear about the bill or the law that they just passed?
Yeah, no.
Did you hear about the law that Oregon just passed?
Kitty's a fucking carpet muncher, fucking piece of shit. Fuck her. Fuck her.
No, did you hear about the law they just passed? That it's no longer legal to call the police on black people.
Wait, what?
You missed that? Did you?
It's on I did a video on it. Like, I did a video on it. It got like 1,000 views right now. Go check it out.
No, but Bad Dodge, you missed that? Where they said that if you call the cops on a black person, you could go to jail for it.
No, I was too busy worrying about them banning straws. And
yeah, you can get sued if you call the police on their black people if they're just going through their daily day, right? And here are the things that consist of a black person's daily day: barbecuing, sleeping in public. Or motherfucking, what's the other one? There was another one. There was barbecuing, sleeping in public, and like, I don't know, like
I think
walking around in like a really good neighborhood.
Trespassing on your
drugs on
trespassing on your property. Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No.
That's what black people do all day long. Is they just barbecue, sleep in public places, and trespass.
And they can give you a $500 fine, which is then given to the offender, the criminal that got called out.
Okay. All right. Well, hold up. That has to be the most racist law I've ever heard. Are you kidding me right now?
Nope.
No. He's totally serious. Do you need it in the chat? Or here, let me put it in the side chat.
This is in Oregon.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hate this place. No, dude, they're gonna ban plastic straws too. They already banned plastic bags.
I feel like that is secondary to not being able to call the police on black people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's not that many.
Here, I'll let you read. I'll let you read this article because it's from The Root.
Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Read the one from The Root. It's gonna be great. That is a great publication right there, full of wokeness.
Yeah, top shelf. Yeah, fucking hell.
There you go.
It's run by wokety woke Negroes. A bunch of light-skinned black people who don't think that they're black enough.
We was Kangs and shit. You know what? We was Kangs.
We was Kangs, and you white people interrupted it. I actually ran into a channel that said all of Europe was black originally.
you fucking hell.
He calls black people so-called black people because that's your corporate designation as an American. You're not really black people because you don't know where you come from. And I mean, because you were all originally Europeans. You know what I mean? He said there's good evidence that Ben Franklin was originally, you know what I'm saying, a person of color.
No,
That's so insane. I mean,
all of the Middle Eastern, all the European kings, they was all black and shit, man.
So where did the white people came from?
I don't know, man. Like he said, the Vikings were also black. So, nigga, what are you doing in his country? You're a trespasser. Yo.
White. But if the Vikings were black, then it was black people that did enslaving, raping, and pillaging.
Yeah, that's why he said you shouldn't be upset about slavery. You know what I'm saying? Because it was your own people who did it. He said white people didn't become a thing until the 1800s.
What?
Here we go. This one's probably better. The one from Vox. Oregon Senate passes bill punishing racist 9/11 callers. Bill allows victims of these calls to sue a 9/11 caller for as much as $250. Almost a year after Oregon State Representative Janelle Bynum's story of being questioned by the police after a 911 call on her, she has campaigned in her district, went viral, and sparked the hashtag campaigning while black. Oregon State senators have passed a bill that would allow victims of frivolous discriminatory 9/11 calls to sue the callers. On Monday, the Oregon State Senate passed the bill 3216, a measure introduced by the state's 3 black Democratic legislators, including Bynum. The bill allows victims of these calls to sue a 9/11 caller for as much as $250 if the victim can prove that the 9/11 call was racially motivated and that the caller intended to discriminate or harm the reputation of the victim.
Oh, give me a fucking break. How do you prove that? Oh, I'm black. What? Like, how do you prove that? Fuck.
The legislation was overwhelmingly supported by lawmakers in both parties, but is deeply personal for Bynum, the only black legislator in the Oregon House. The other 2 black legislators serve the state Senate. When someone gets the police called on them for just existing in public, it sends a message that you don't belong here, Bynum told the Associated Press on Monday. This creates a legal pathway to justice. The bill, which passed the Oregon House in April, will return to that chamber to resolve any minor discrepancies. If the new version of the bill is approved, the measure will be sent to the desk of Katie Brown, a Democrat. The bill becomes, as legislature in several cities and states are debating how to best respond to unnecessary 9/11 calls on black residents after a number of high-profile living while black incidents have gone viral. That's from Vox.
Can I just hang myself with the Ethernet cord already?
You should probably leave Oregon. Like, you're not wanted there, Mad Dodge.
Obviously. I mean, Kentucky would be more welcoming.
Of course it would. You're a white person.
That's horrible.
You live in a trailer and got 17 kids. Kentucky is like your natural fucking breeding ground.
Just one bad Joe away from West Virginia, right?
All you got to do is get a whole bunch of Mountain Dew, nigga. You are welcome in Kentucky, Virginia, Tennessee, West Virginia, Alabama.
I'm not going to Bama. It's not happening. No,
Yo, I want to go to Bama just for the bitches. Be honest with you.
Nah, that's why you go to Georgia.
I'm not going to Georgia. Atlanta's in Georgia, and Atlanta's a shithole. That's where CNN is.
You don't want to talk to Phil You don't want to have a
No,
discussion?
fuck him and his spiky glasses.
God damn. But
I thought you were getting along with him. I thought you had buried the hatchet.
No, fuck him. Fuck him and everybody that looks like him. Yo, fuck his mom. Fuck his cousins. Fuck his dad.
You might
Like,
want
yo,
to read.
fuck his dog. Like, yo.
You might want to read your.
to do that.
You might want to read your disclaimer again, Mad Dodge.
Mad Dodge is committing suicide right now. He's actually he's looking up.
well,
He's on landwatch.com looking up new places to live.
You know what he's doing? He's painting one of his kids black and telling him to run in the neighbor's yard to see if they'll call the police.
He's like, we need that. Like, we need this 250. Like, yeah. Hop in this coal bin real quick.
This law won't get abused at all.
How much chocolate do we have in the house?
Yeah.
I do not agree with Pedoid at all, Sophade. I think you're cool.
You're afraid of Sophane?
He's a fucking communist.
No, Sophane's not a communist. Be honest. He might be a dingbat, but he's not a communist.
He's a communist. He's a communist.
Sophane isn't quite that bad. He has his moments.
He's a communist.
He has his moments, but he's not a commie. Come on.
Anybody that's left of Ronald Reagan is a communist. As far as I'm concerned.
What a standard! If you're not bleeding Reagan red, white, and blue, you're a commie. Is that your standard now, Pinoid?
Yes, it is. All right, that's where we are. If you are left of Ronald Reagan, you need to leave my country right now. Get the fuck out. You're a communist. You're no longer welcome in my country. You're a danger to all of us. You might start a new USSR and start gulags.
Oh, just the radicalism that just continues in this place.
Place. Yeah, like it's an actual place.
Yeah,
No.
it's called Mad Dodge's Hut.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep moving right if they keep moving left, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, they keep moving to the left. Apparently, we're running whatchamacallits down on the southern border. What the hell they call them? Concentration camps. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're running concentration camps on the southern border.
AOC did kind of step in it with that one. It's getting to that.
People are supporting her.
I know it's ridiculous, but not everyone's supporting her, and it just makes it look that much sillier.
Well, no, Nancy Pelosi fucking hates her because she's the competition.
Well, she is the young Nancy Pelosi. That's true. She is the young Skeletor.
Young Skeletor. I feel like Nancy Pelosi might actually be smarter than Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Of course, Skeletor has to be. She has her minions too. Little Adam shit and the fat man Nadler.
I mean, I don't know what's worse, like the murderous fucking pedophile of Hillary Clinton, you know what I mean? Or like You know what I mean? Fucking AOC and her crazy stupidity that's going to lead us into fucking Armageddon. I don't know which one's worse on some serious shit.
Well, AOC's nonsense is dangerous. I'll agree with you there. And a lot of people don't recognize just how dangerous someone, because she is serious. She's not saying this just to get a rise out of people. She's serious with these viewpoints of hers. She really does believe it.
I know. Like, I get it. Like, she's fucking dead serious. Like, she is deadpan about what she's saying. Like me, I joke and laugh, and you know what I mean? Like, I have my viewpoints, and everybody pretty much knows where I stand. Like, I'm a libertarian, but I was like, I got some things I'm okay with the government doing. You know, military, roads, you know what I mean? Locking people up in the wacko basket. You know what I mean? Like these are things that we don't goddamn need. Like,
locking people up in the wacko basket? What the hell is that?
Yeah, we wouldn't have all these homeless people shitting on the streets and, you know what I mean, you shooting up heroin if we had a wacko basket to put them in, you know? Like, we need wacko baskets back. Like, what happened to the men with the fucking white coats? And I mean, they come and wrap your ass up and tie your hands to your fucking sides and make you hug yourself so you felt better. And I mean,
everything was fine. Everything was fine until you called it a wacko basket. Then they had to be let out because
it puts the lotion on the skin.
Pinoy, you're something else, man. Unfortunately, guys, I've got to jump.
Well, no, I was thinking about wrapping it up anyway. We're about at 2 hours, just a little shy, but I'm gonna fucking have some tacos. So yeah, I want to eat. Pinoy, man, I know your channel's still down. Any word from YouTube before we go?
Nah, man, you know the deal. I called him and tried to talk to somebody. You know what I mean? I recorded the video, put it up on Excel's channel. Everybody go check that shit out. Other than that, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't heard no word on the appeal or anything like that. It's just kind of whatever for the moment. You know what I mean? Just wait for these cocksuckers, you know what I mean, to render their decision. It's probably going to be your shit stays down till October. I don't know.
That fucking sucks, dude. Hey, MC, you doing a show tomorrow morning?
Yep. Just my regular time. 6 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah, it's like 3 a.m. on the East Coast, right? Or no, 6, 7, 8, 9.
6 plus 3 is 9, yes.
Yeah, 9. Yeah, I know math. Hey, Keen, do you do anything on YouTube, or do you usually just watch shit and maybe jump in every now and then?
I used to watch Jump In every now and then because I'm too busy with trying to pull together resources for some of my other projects to do the YouTube thing.
He's plotting the takeover of the European Union.
Well, I hope he wins. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Mad Dogs Productions now endorses France. We love France. French fries.
Yo,
are
fuck
amazing.
France! Yo, fuck France! Army motherfuckers!
Good night, everybody. We're out of here.
I think we